Hi, I'm the Catholic Revert, and today we're going to talk about how I really first started coming back to the Catholic Church after being out of it for about 30 years. So it was about 2016, and I was going on a mission trip to Africa, to Rwanda. And I was going there to drill a clean water well. I was so excited to bring the gospel as well as clean water. It was something I was really passionate about, and still am, of course. So I decided I should probably learn more about the country. I knew a little bit about it, but I definitely wanted to learn more. And then someone recommended that I read this book by Immaculee Ilibagiza, and called Left to Tell. If you have not read this book, I don't care who you are, read this book. Her story is incredible, real, true. She's still around. I've seen her speak. It's amazing. And basically, it's how she survived the Rwandan genocide by surviving, living. I'm using the word living, but it was not living. Trust me. It was definitely just existing. And how she survived that, living in this bathroom with, I think, 8 other women. Small bathroom, to where they really just like almost stood standing there. They would take turns sleeping. They just stood like this. The man who owned the house that they were hiding in, he would give them food from out of the garbage because even his family did not know that the women were in there. So extremely traumatizing. And she really is incredibly gifted in being able to tell her story and being very vulnerable about what happened to her mentally, physically, and spiritually, and how she used her faith, her Catholic faith, to really survive, because we know that your survival really starts in the mind many times. And so she's like a hero, a heroine. She's incredible. And her story is just incredible. And she goes back and she does a lot of pilgrimages there, and she travels all around the country and all around the world, telling her story and inspiring people and helping them to become better at praying, and to realize how her faith really saved her, and that we are all offered that from God. And so I went to go see her in Manhattan, and there, of course, it was very Catholic in a Catholic church. And so I was like, wow, I was raised Catholic. So I mean, like, I'm comfortable here, even though I had not been going to Catholic church for about 30 years. And so, of course, she told her story, and there was a lot of talk about all of different saints, and they had the traveling Fatima statue there. That was actually kind of exciting to see. And they were talking about how Padre Pio, and they had different relics there, and it was just really, they had deep prayer. They sang the Divine Mercy Chaplet. They had a special singer there, and it was just so beautiful in this church in New York. And it was very peaceful, and everybody there was telling their stories of how they were praying the rosary and this miracle happened, and praying the rosary and that miracle happened, and doing novenas. I didn't know what a novena was. I'm like, I don't know. It's some kind of prayer, but I don't know what. And they were talking, when they had mentioned Padre Pio, like the name like hit me. I was like, oh, I know that saint, but I don't know anything about him. And I don't even know if it's a real person. Somehow the saints became a little bit like Greek mythology. Like, I don't know. I guess I didn't realize they were like real people, but I kind of knew. I don't know. I mean, I never got rid of St. Anthony. That was like where I drew the line in not being Catholic. Like, no way. I found too many things with St. Anthony. Him and I are buds. So I kind of started to like look into Padre Pio and who he was, what it meant to follow him, what it all was about. And then that kind of started me down the Padre Pio path. And, once you go down the Padre Pio path, you're never turning back. But I really wanted to make sure that I have the dates here, because my reversion kind of happened really fast and at an interesting time. So her retreat, I wrote it down, was April 27th, 2019. So April 27th, 2019 was when I started to really kind of come back to the Catholic Church. They did Mass here, communion, and it was really, I think it was probably the first time I had communion and in like 30 years. So it was, maybe I might not have, but I think it kind of was. In terms of Catholic communion, totally different experience. So make sure you get this book. I don't get any money from it. I'm not selling anything, but I'm telling you, no matter who you are, what your faith experience is, this is something everyone should have. If you get to see her speak in person, it's really amazing. It's very moving. You know this is real. Go on YouTube. You can see the actual bathroom she was in. She went back. Oh, that was like very moving. So it gives you a really good visual, because I saw the video after I read the book, and then I was like, wow, this really is like the way she described it. And then, of course, when I went to Rwanda and saw, you know, some of the devastation there and some of the remnants of what has happened, it was very, very moving. But then also to see how they resolved their conflict as a country and as a people. If only, if only the rest of the world can do what they're doing and step into the blessings that they are getting based on their ability to forgive and receiving the gift of forgiveness and giving the gift of forgiveness. It's incredible, and there's really no words to describe it. I could write a whole thing about it in that sense, but I don't want to read something off a piece of paper to describe how I felt. My lack of being able to describe it is pretty much how I felt when I was there. And she has a second book. I have it. I don't remember the name of it, but it's really good. It's kind of like, all right, what happened when she came to America kind of thing. And that's really inspiring as well and uplifting. And definitely get this book. She did make I think she made a movie. I don't remember. But you know, the book's always better. Let's be real. So if you get a chance to go to Rwanda, go to Rwanda. If you get a chance to see her speak, go see her speak. And then definitely getting back to when I went was April 27th, 2019. This was when I started to really feel a pull back to the Catholic Church, as I said, but I started to almost like crave the Eucharist. Like I was like, I won't say crazy, but I craved it. I was like, I have to have the Eucharist. I need it. I want it. Like I need to start going to church every day. Like I just became, I don't want to say fanatical, but kind of like in my desire to have Jesus every single day in a different way than I did before. Not just through prayer, but really it was the Eucharist. It was like calling me. Like and I was like, why after so many years am I like, I have to have it. Like I am going to freak out if I don't get the Eucharist today and if I don't go to church this morning. So I had no idea what was coming, aka coronavirus and lockdown, and how I felt like God was preparing me for what was coming, but I had no idea what was coming. I mean, who would ever know? So, and then as I got deeper and closer in with Padre Pio, then it became even more intense. And, you know, and then I was really, really well prepared for quarantine, lockdown, Corona, and my mind was right. And I didn't go crazy during it. You know, I totally was like, although I was like frustrated and angry about things going on, I was definitely like calm and centered and closer to God than ever. And thank you, Jesus, for that. So this is the start of one of my videos. I didn't want to make one long video, an hour long, because who wants to hear that? So I'm going to make a bunch of shorter videos to keep you a little bit more interested. And if there's something that you have a question about, just let me know. And once again, left to tell, get it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And then hopefully I'll see you at one of her retreats.